so okay, so I hope I got it right this time. Last time I messed it all up, unfortunately. But I think it's working now, and hopefully you're going to ask me some questions because I don't have anything prepared to talk about. This is my third Google Hangout. It's kind of a nice idea. Um, yeah. So, what should I say? Um, okay, so I'm Cape Magic, and the reason I changed my name to Cape Magic was I changed it in 2007. It had been my nickname when I was a teenager, in my early 20s, and my name was Polly then, and people called me Magic Polly. And I just wanted to reclaim the magic. I wanted to, I feel strongly that I wanted to put the magic back into the world, and that's really been my whole thing ever since I was a teenager. Is that I believe in, I'm a very spiritual person, and I believe in, I believe in forces beyond human, beyond what we can understand, and I believe these forces are benevolent forces, and they're looking out for us, and they're guiding us, and they care about us deeply, and they'll really do anything for us. And I feel the problem in the West particularly, but generally in the world today, is that we've become disconnected from those forces and that sense of majesty and that sense of the power of creation. And so we worry all the time, and we're full of fear, we're full of doubt, we're full of negativity, we're full of stress. You don't need me to tell you that. You just pick up the newspaper or turn on the TV, and it's all negativity. It's judgment, it's criticism, it's fear, it's poverty, it's just endless, like, yeah, unhappiness. And that's not how I see the world. I see the world as being a really beautiful place, and I think we could do incredible things to change the way we're living right now. And I think we could really, really revolutionize existence within a few generations if we just start with this basic precept that life is magic, and that we're working with these divine forces that that are working for us and working with us, and have our interests at heart, and are just beyond powerful. They can do anything that they can do anything. Everything is possible. So I think the first step is just to take that on board in your own life, in your own personal life, and to be the change, and to just operate from a place of love, and operate from a place of trust and belief. And then it's just amazing how things start to conspire around you in your own personal life to guide you, to show you the places you should be going, and the people that you should be spending time with, and the things that you should be doing, and everything starts to fall into place. And not to say that means that life becomes easy at all, but life definitely becomes more straightforward and more simple, and then it's easier to understand what our path is, and there's just a simplicity about life when you know that you're on your path, and you know that you're doing what you're meant to be doing, and that takes away so much of the headaches of modern existence. And yeah, just having that conviction, I think, is something that people really lack. We're taught not to believe in ourselves, and we're taught to doubt, and to limit ourselves, to restrict ourselves in order to fit in with what society says is acceptable. And yeah, I don't think it needs to be like that. So yeah, so I think that's where it starts. It starts with a mindset more than anything else, and an attitude to life which is inherently positive, and then from that so much comes. And for me, the food and yoga as well is just a way of making it easier to access that mindset and access that connectedness, because I find when I eat this way, I'm much more attuned, and I just find it easier to operate on those kind of levels. And if I eat other foods, denser foods, heavier foods, then my fears come in, my worries come in. You know, like everyone, I have insecurities, and I have things that I'm not happy about in my life, and things that I would like to change. And if I eat, which I very rarely do, but if I did eat denser foods, then those things would become more. So, for instance, travel on tube travel, I travel on public transport a lot. And if I have to do the London to Brighton commute in the rush hour, and I'm on the train at 6 o'clock and it's packed and I can't get a seat and it's really full up and everyone's fed up, then I come back and I come home and my mind is full of all the things that are wrong with my life. And I look on I doubt things like, I haven't got money, and where are my friends, and I work too hard, and all those kind of things. But when I put myself in a place of connectedness and my place of joy, then I feel like I'm really rich and I'm really abundant, and I have so many friends, and I'm so blessed to be surrounded by these people, and I have so much fun in my life. So, you know, it's always a question of perspective, and whatever perspective we hold is then what becomes the truth of our lives. So if I was sat here every day going, I haven't got any friends, then no one would want to be my friend, and I'm not going to make friends. But because I sit here feeling like there's loads of amazing people that I really enjoy getting to know, and I have so many different friends that I can call on for different things. So friends that I talk to about men, or friends that I talk to about work, or friends that I talk to about the children, or friends that I go out dancing with, all those kind of different friends. Oh, I have friends that bring me dead birds. He just brought in a dead bird. Yeah, it was a raw bird. Then people are attracted to me because that's the energy I give off. The energy I give off is that I'm a really friendly person, and I'm fun to be around, because that's what I believe. Whereas if I just, you know, just thought of myself as someone that was isolated and yeah, then that's what you're creating, isn't it? So that's just one example of how our perception of our life goes to generate what is actually going on. So I think it works on small levels. It works on personal levels, where you just, you know, you meet the right person. You know, always I go to a party and there'll be someone there who I wanted to see, and then I'll talk to them, and then they'll introduce you to someone else, and that person's got some other bit of information, or tells me about something else, you know. So it's always just on a personal level. Your personal life starts to go with a flow and a charm, if you like. But then also on a bigger level, we're just contributing to. It's like stitching, isn't it? It's like we're weaving as we live our lives with our thoughts and our words and our actions. We're weaving the fabric of reality, and we're just when we act from this place, then we're acting from that place of connectedness, and we're weaving a more beautiful, harmonious pattern, and we're creating a world that is more aligned with the world that we all want to see. Everyone wants to see a world. I don't care who you are. Everyone wants to see a world where life is more light-hearted and fun and simplistic and wonderful place to be, rather than this kind of heavy, troublesome presentation that we're given from the media. So yeah, so I think magic starts with a mindset and a belief from here, But my whole thing, you might have heard me say, my whole thing is this alignment of all the centers. So you have your head center aligned, your heart center aligned, and your body, your gut center aligned. So all these three centers are coming from a place of authenticity and connectedness. They're all working together. So yeah, so it's a wonderful thing to experience on a personal level, but it's also what's needed right now to achieve global transformation, which is what is happening. But let's speed it up, because it's not fun when you hear about all these. Today I was reading about the TTIP, where the corporations were able to sue governments. So in Canada, they sued, the fracking companies sued the Ottawa, I think, council for like $250 million because they didn't want to have fracking. So there's all that kind of stuff going on. We had all these problems last year, which haven't raised their head again recently. I'm hoping they don't pop up again. But we had all these problems with the EFSA, and what we're allowed to say, we had to change a lot of our products. So it's, you know, inhibiting our work and able to share the information about superfoods and get that out, and, you know, help people reclaim their health and take back their health. Yeah, so there's a lot going on in the world that isn't that great. And I think we all have the power to do something about it, and we all have the power to make it better, and we can do that, and it starts right here, right now, by being happy. So why would you not want to do that? Why would you not want to be happy, and just, you know, not just be happy on a selfish level, and there's nothing wrong with being happy on a selfish level, but just being happy on a bigger level. And that's, I think, what people find hard to do, is actually accept that the way the world isn't something to get angry and disheartened about, but it's something that we can it's something that we can change. And the only way we can change that is just by accepting it as it is right now, and knowing it's all part of our evolution, and that we can grow along with it. So that's kind of my manifesto, my magic manifesto. And no one seems to have put any questions in the little question box. Maybe I'll give it a couple more minutes, and then maybe we'll call it a day. Maybe you want to see my cat eating a dead bird. No, I don't think so. So what else can I say about magic? So there's lots of different things. I've started teaching classes on magical thinking, because there's lots of different ways where I observe myself falling into negative mindsets. As I said, self-doubt, lack of belief, just resentment, all those kind of things. And so when I catch myself having thought patterns which are not going to be helpful to me, then I've developed lots of strategies for talking to myself and realigning those thought patterns and changing them into more positive ways of thinking, and then that manifests in my life. So, okay, I'll just tell you a little story then. So I was going to a festival, worldwide festival, last Thursday, and I caught the plane and had instructions from my host of how to get from the airport to where I was staying, and there were very clear instructions and well-written instructions, but it did seem a little bit complicated. I was in France, and I do speak French, but my French is a bit rusty, and it was like get a bus and then get a train and then get a bus, and I was just like, oh, I don't know about this. So I was like, I'm just going to get a lift. I'm going to meet someone, I'm going to get a lift, and somehow I'm going to get a lift, and I'll just get a lift. And that's what I believe in. And then I got off the plane and I got my luggage, and I stood there and I was like, okay, I still haven't got a lift. So I looked at my phone to read the instructions. I was like, okay, I've got to go and find the bus stop. And I walked off, and just as I walked off, I bumped into my friend, and he was an artist at the festival, and I was like, are you getting picked up by any chance? And so I got a lift in the VIP artist bus with my friend, who we chatted all the way. So there you go. So that was the first bit of manifestation. And then when I got there, I'd already asked the guy if we could stop once he picked me up, if we could stop and get some fruit and vegetables somewhere. And he basically said no, that there was nowhere near the house we could get fruit and vegetables. So when I told him where I was, I was being picked up from a different place because I got this lift. When I told him where I was, he said, "Oh, while you're waiting for me," he said, "I'll be there in 10 minutes. While you're waiting for me, there's a fruit and veg shop right there. You can get your vegetables." So then I manifested my vegetables, and then we got in the car, and I realised that I didn't have, when we got to his place, I realised that we didn't have water. I didn't have any water, and I'd just come from flight. I was pretty dehydrated, you know what it's like. And then I really started to get into, you know, because I really, really need my liquids, and I need to drink a lot, and I hate being dehydrated. And I was really kind of like, oh, this is going to be one of those times when I'm going to be really thirsty and I can't get anything to drink, and you have to pay like €2 for a tiny little bottle of water. And then I heard myself doing all this, and I was like, no, I'm going to get water. I'm going to have water. I'm going to have water. So I just let go. I was like, I'm going to have water. And then what happened is that where I was staying, some other people, it was Airbnb, some other people were also staying, and they were staying next door. And they're a really nice couple from Vienna, and they were in a bus, and she said to me, "Oh, we're just gonna go to the supermarket. Is there anything we can get you?" And I was like, "Oh, can you get me some water?" So that was very kind of them. I went off to the party, and when I came back later, there was 3 5-litre water bottles lined up outside my door. So I was like, yes, I manifested the water, lasting me the whole time I was staying there. So that's just a little example of how you can observe your negative thoughts about things and see where you're getting stuck and where you're limiting yourself and where you feel like things are going to go wrong, and then ways, and yeah, I go into deeper level in the magical thinking teaching about different ways to observe those thoughts and then to change them into thoughts that are going to be more helpful, that are going to actually get you the results that you want, rather than delivering you the results that you're not wanting. Yeah, I think all this stuff has always been, hey, it's a question, thank you. I think all this stuff has always been possible, but I think particularly the time we're in now, manifestation is much more possible, much more easy than it's ever been before. I think energy goes in waves, it's ups and downs, everything goes in cycles. And right now, for the last few years, really, we've been in this upward wave where the magic is definitely strong, and the synchronicities are thick and fast. And if you tune into this wavelength, it's a really kind of solid wavelength to tune into now, and you can make these things happen. And yeah, just practice. Everything in life is practice. So the more you do it, it doesn't always work, obviously, but the more you do it, the more better you get at it, and the bigger the chance that it will work. So practice every day, every minute of every day. Yes, that was still, wasn't actually a question, that was just Emily. Hello, Emily. So I didn't get any questions, and we've been here for 20 minutes, and I told you a nice little story, so I think we're probably done. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my little story, and I'll see you again soon. Alright, bye, see ya.